Joined now by Saints legend Marques Colston. What's going on with you, man? What are you doing out here this week?
You know me, man. Staying busy, staying out of the way. Just really down here working on my venture firm, Champion Venture Partners. Just making the rounds, meeting some investors, meeting some companies, and just really enjoying being back in the city. So it's always good to be back.
What's that transition been like for you? Does it allow you to kind of like tap into that competitive nature of yours and keep yourself mentally stimulated and all that stuff?
1,000%. Like it's not a full transition at this point. Like I'm still kind of working through, learning different things. Lifelong learner is kind of what I try to hang my hat on. So it's never really been about getting from point A to point B. It's really been about the process of learning and for me, the last 15 or so years in being in a lot of the different positions and the different roles that I've been in, I finally kind of found this one thing in this venture firm that I'm able to bring all of those different experiences to bear. So it's been fun. One, just being back in sports because I've been out for a few years. But two, just kind of being able to re-enter with a lot of new skill sets, a lot of new perspectives, and still have fun doing it.
Have you done a Super Bowl week like this since you stopped playing?
No.
You've been around some events like this or nothing? This is a whole new...
I've been around, but you know me. Being in the media don't mix very well.
What's the memory, the smell, the sound, the sights, just being around the Super Bowl? Maybe not even from the game, but from this week that's flooding back to you this week.
A lot of it is just I'm now at a point where I can be nostalgic. Like when you're in it and when you're close to it, it's hard to really understand hard to understand the gravity of it. But I think the further I get away from it, the more I appreciate the fact that we were able to pull that off.
Yeah.
And for this to be back here in New Orleans and just seeing the excitement and it looks a whole lot different this time around with New Orleans hosting. So it's just great to be around the energy. The Saints fans are still here, so it's great to run into people and familiar faces that I know. And it's always an opportunity to kind of put the city on a pedestal, and I think New Orleans is one that's always deserving of that platform, and just enjoy being a part of it.
When you get nostalgic, what is it that's making you nostalgic? What are you picturing?
A lot of it is just a lot of people don't understand the process of getting to that win. Right, you celebrate the win itself, but a lot of the nostalgia for me is coming back into the city. You drive past the facility.
Yeah.
You understand what went into that work. Just walking over, I ran into Roman.
Yeah.
Right, Roman Harper, and just reliving some of those moments and some of those memories with people that you care a lot about because you spend a lot of time on task and you built something really important with those guys. So a lot of it is just like those really random experiences with people. More than the win itself is great, but it's those interactions with people that you remember and you just kind of reminisce on.
It's Thursday at 3:00 roughly right now. Did you know you're going to win the Super Bowl at Thursday at 3:00, 3 days before the game?
Yes and no. That whole week was weird because you're just trying to find some normalcy and you can't escape it. You can't escape like what this is.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things you can't help but look at the odds because it's the only thing that sports are talking about. So you have that ultimate confidence as a player because of your preparation, but you're steadily seeing outside influence and hearing outside voices telling you how great Peyton Manning is. So it's a weird dynamic to try to navigate.
What is the key to kind of just like managing all the noise that week? Because it is so far outside the routine and there's a million people and everybody's watching and you're not at home, you're not how do you kind of keep that, insulated a little bit?
It's the toughest thing to do, in my opinion, because it's such a delicate dance. Because when you understand that this is truly a once in a lifetime opportunity for a lot of people, you got to enjoy it and be in the moment and stay present. And you probably have family and friends here that want to be a part of the festivities and they want to enjoy it. So it's a delicate dance of staying in the moment and enjoying it, but also trying to block out the noise as much as possible to try to find your normalcy. So it's tough.
I just saw Darren Woodson walk by right behind when you're talking. I mean, that's what happens every 5 minutes on radio. Who was like your nemesis that you now see and you guys are just two regular guys walking around in street clothes?
Man, Charles Tillman.
Yeah,
Charles Tillman.
That's a good one.
It's funny because him and Roman got the podcast together, so I went up to New York and shot an episode with those guys, and it's like I'm sitting across from them. and we reminiscing about one of the few times I lost my cool on the field. So you get through that 30 seconds of awkwardness, but no, it's always seeing Charles, man, because he was such a competitor, and we kind of come from similar backgrounds, small schools, and that respect and admiration turns into something different when you're competing against each other, but it's always respect and admiration.
You mentioned once in a lifetime. Did you guys know in that moment? I mean, I'm assuming you probably thought you'd be back, though, at some point, considering where the team was.
As when in year 4, just being naive, like you just knew we were going to get back. And I spent the last 6 years of my career never sniffing it again. You know, the closest we got was the divisional round in 2011. But it's one of those things where the further you get away from it, the more special you realize it really is. So specifically for the young people and the young guys that are going through this moment for the first time, you got to enjoy it because you have no idea if you'll ever get back.
And just like you're still a young person, but like your career, like how fast does a career really feel like it goes? Like is it like a blink of the eye kind of like when you look back on it?
It expired way too fast, man.
Yeah.
It's weird in that the process feels so grueling while you're in it. But again, the further you get away from the game, the more you realize that, damn, this was really just a blink, right? So for me, I've been out of the game for 10 years. So I've been out of the game now for as long as I played the game. And I had a long career, right? So it definitely doesn't – my body feels like it might have been 30 years at times. But mentally, it doesn't feel like 10 years at all. It goes by in a blink, in a flash, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. I got nothing else, but thank you very much for stopping by. It's always good to see you, man.
Always love chopping it up with you guys, man.